Coming up.
Do you want me to go? Hello?
No video on a Monday morning, thanks.
Sorry, my bad.
Trust me, I could see me dressed up.
Essence of continuity.
Did he really try and do that? Yeah.
Everyone in between.
Binding people together.
I would do the entire evening like that.
Well, I'm going to imbue the essence of Sam.
Hello.
If you want to do work in those areas, watch those areas.
Give me a script and I'm happy.
Oh, hello. Excuse me, let's go back on this. I said it's timed and you said, no, it's not.
See, you know what I'm saying, really.
So don't pull that one, mate.
And now, enjoy the podcast.
How do you say that?
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 Hello and welcome to today's episode of How Do You Say That, sponsored by VoxBox, the portable, foldable, storable audio booth. This is my co-host, Mark Rice.
Ooh, drum roll, and this is Sam Buffett.
God, I thought that was a purr, not a drum roll. So that was very interesting. I thought he was
yeah. Do you know what? It was more of a purr.
It was more of a purr, wasn't it?
I'm no good at instant Foley.
Kind of guy you are. Exactly. Hello. And every week, Mark and I get together and we chat about scripts and voice acting and how to get even better at what we all do for a living.
And we do that by inviting a special guest to chat about it with us. So if you fancy a bit of that, then this podcast is especially for you.
Now, we do love a new fun fact. And this week's fun fact about Mark is that he has fake grass in his garden and he still thinks it looks good.
I realise all the environmental things. I understand what everybody says, but I still think it looks nice having green all year round. And that's just the way I feel about it. Well, Sam's fun fact is that at uni, she was originally placed in an all-boys halls of residence.
I was.
Did you raise that fact?
Well, immediately we got there. Back in the day, they weren't mixed halls of res.
Yeah.
And because I was Sam, and it's actually behind the reason that I now am Samantha out in the big wide world, because that memory I can remember very viscerally, turning up with all my stuff and discovering that I was in an all-boys hall. And they moved me pretty quickly, but nonetheless I was sort of a bit amazed, having been Sam all my life.
Absolutely.
And I'm never Samantha outside of the voiceover industry. I'm always Sam.
No, true.
Of course, we also have a very special guest, voice actor John Last.
Hello, John.
Hello. How are you all?
Lovely to have you along. Well, apologies for we're doing this recording on a Monday morning. We never record this show on a Monday morning. It's kind of my fault, this. So apologies to both of you. Yes, I think I'm okay for Monday morning. Are you two okay for that?
Well,
Sorry, what? Sorry, what? Sorry. Morning.
Let's find out a little bit more about John, shall we?
absolutely. So, John is an actor, a voiceover and a writer who's recently narrated World's Greatest Inventions on Channel 5 and is an experienced audio drama actor in a lovely seasonal twist, seeing as we're between Halloween and Bonfire Night.
We are, yeah.
Regularly features in the horror comedy podcast. Now, is it Ramon or Ramon?
Ramon.
I love
Fear.
it. Ramon Fear's Terror Tapes, which has just been nominated for 5 Independent Podcast Awards.
It's good. It's worth listening to as well. John's voice is most recognisable, of course, from his 20-year stint as a continuity announcer working across the board for various channels, ranging from ITV, Channel 5, Channel 4, Discovery, and currently Legend, formerly known as Horror.
Ooh. So that was me doing a kind of very feeble Monday morning horror.
Nice. John is a 4-time nominated voiceover for the One Voice Awards, nominated in the documentary and Best Continuity categories. Well, welcome again, John. Have you got a fun fact for us?
I went to the Empire Film Awards in London and going around, lots of booze, and it's sponsored by a whiskey, producer, and so we have a few cocktails and a few beers, maybe some champagne. Anyway, so we had the meal, start schmoozing with everybody, and I get a tad drunk, and I kind of go over and see Andy Serkis chatting to Patrick Stewart because,
Wow.
I had a friend who'd worked with Patrick Stewart recently, so I thought I'm going to pass a message on from him, but I'm not at my best, not the most coherent, and so they look at me and they kind of go, yes, great. And I'm like, I'm just going to go. And then the next week, I'm actually blagging my way through the Cannes Film Festival. And I bumped into Andy Serkis again at a party. And he looks at me and he double takes. And I look at him and go, I may have had a few drinks last week. And he goes, don't worry, mate, we were all hammered.
It's a great anecdote.
And on that drunken story, let's have a look at our first script of the show and ask, how do you say that?
How do you say that?
All right, you two, this is something that I did recently, which looks on the surface as if it is sports commentary. And in fact it is, but I'm not a sports commentator, but a lot of people come to me for that style to throw into their documentaries, interestingly.
Right. Okay, my worst nightmare. Lovely.
It was what, for a kind of promo? What was it for?
It's for a documentary about swimming in the Olympics.
Okay.
And they didn't want to actually take the clip, so they needed to revoice that race, so to speak.
Gotcha.
Right. They probably couldn't get the rights.
Couldn't get the rights for it. No, indeed. And they sent me the original clip. So they said, give me the feel of this. It doesn't have to be exactly the same, but give me the feel of it.
Gotcha. Okay.
I only got one pronunciation from them, in fact, which was Konkoly.
Konkoly. Okay, I see that one.
That's the only one I got, but I can tell you it's Gascon and jus.
Jus. Okay.
Jus.
And what the hell is a
sauce.
100-metre fly S9?
Just say 100-metre fly S9.
I believe that might be Paralympics.
You're right, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, imagine you're watching the race and they're already swimming. This is coming up to the end of the race. Okay, so this is from about 2/3 of the way through, I guess.
Okay. Right, this is going to be fantastic. Okay. Right.
I can tell you're not looking forward to this.
I really am not looking forward to this. Not at all, but I'll try and pretend I am.
Okay.
I'm really looking forward to it. Okay, guys. So, I'll just get myself into it a little bit. Okay, I'm seeing all these people. They're diving, they're swimming, they're going it. They're really going strong. They're really, 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 really going fast. So let's see if Elizabeth Smith can turn it on here in this final. It's the gold medal that's up for grabs. Women's 100 fly S9. Smith is being closed down now. Spain, watch Gascon. She's got an incredible finish. Is she going to take this gold she desires? Oh, Ju, it looks like she's going for it in lane 4. No, it's Ju against Gascon. Smith's trying to hang on. Konkoly making a mad dash. Who will claim it at the wall?
I like that.
Really?
You got exactly the right kind of excitement and intensity there. And I think, yes, because you also turned it up, and that's exactly right as it would go for the end of the race.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I thought maybe that it was a bit too breathy and quick, but I think you were getting there.
I think that actually you're being very kind.
No, I don't think so.
Ugh. Yeah, good. I'm glad it's over.
Your turn now, John. That's the thing. What are you going to do with it?
Well, I'm going to imbue the essence of Sam, and we'll see what happens.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see if Elizabeth Smith can turn it on here in this final. It's the gold medal that is up for grabs. The women's 100-metre fly S9. Smith is being closed down now. Spain, watch Gascon. She's got an incredible finish. Is she finally going to take this gold she desires? But Ju looks to be going in for it. Lane 4. Ju against Gascon. Smith trying to hang on. Konkoly making a mad dash. Who will claim it at the wall?
Excellent. Well done. What it embodies there, and this is, I think, Sam, the interesting thing is that level of commentary is all at one tone.
I was realising when I was listening to you do it, John, that one of the areas that I'm very, very uncertain of in the voiceover world is commentating. Mm-hmm. And I wonder if it's because I never, ever, ever watch sport.
Yeah, that
I don't watch the Olympics. I don't watch anything. So I have no clue, really, what that sound is like.
Every single guest that we've had on this show, Sam, says if you want to do work in those areas, watch those areas.
Absolutely. And I suppose if I got this as part of a character, then I would go and do my research.
Yes, and that's what I do, because I don't watch a lot of sport, but I go and kind of immerse myself in it for the day before I do the job, you know?
And there is, you're absolutely right. It's the same with, all sorts of things. There's a style, isn't there?
That was for me. I do watch a lot of the Olympics when it's on, and I do watch football commentary, etc. Well, I don't watch the commentary, I watch the match, but
but you're listening to the commentary in the background, absolutely.
Yeah, and I always kind of, when it comes to athletics, I always have that Coleman. What's his name? Was it David Coleman?
David Coleman. The Coleman balls.
I always have David Coleman in the back of my head anyway. So, and then now you've got Steve Cram, I believe, who does a lot of the commentary. So they always have that tone. They always have that. It's not monotone, but it gathers pace as it goes along to the final line, and it really kind of goes with it. And so I read it before, and I was like, oh, okay. I read it out loud a couple of times before I came on. I was like, okay, do like this, and then build it up, and so I made a couple of notes as well. So I was just copying you, though, Sam. Really,
No, you weren't, because I didn't do any of that. You see, I didn't do any of that.
Right, well, I better have a go myself. I'm not going to be a million miles away from what John did, though. I thought John absolutely nailed it, so let's have a look. Let's see if Elizabeth Smith can turn it on here in this final. It's the gold medal that's up for grabs, the women's 100-metre fly S9. Smith is being closed down now. Spain, watch Gascon. She's got an incredible finish. Is she finally going to take this gold she desires? But Zhu looks to be going for it in lane 4. Zhu against Gascon. Smith trying to hang on. Konkoly making a mad dash. Who will claim it on the wall?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
It does kind of gear up, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Yeah, wow.
You know what amazes me about commentators in general anyway is the level of research they have to do and the expertise.
Oh, yeah.
And then to be able to just spew these names out, just one after another, it's immense. I couldn't do it. That's why give me a script and I'm happy.
Play, how do you say that?
Just a reminder that these are real scripts we've been working on, but we've changed the names and some of the details to avoid copyright issues.
So, John, you've brought a continuity script with you that's kind of, as we're between Halloween and Bonfire Nights, it's got a little horror feel to it, hasn't it?
Yes, it does. And what I was basically thinking about is we do stunts on, this one was for a previous channel I used to work for. I do believe we can say the name, which was Horror, which we've now rebranded into being called Legend. So we do stunts and we do branded weekends about certain things. And this one was for, obviously, for Halloween.
Now, when you sent this script, Sam said to me, oh, God, it's all timed as well, because there was a little thing that said 18 next to it, which we imagine means 18 seconds.
Oh, hello, excuse me, let's go back on this. I said it's timed, and you said, no, it's not.
I went, is it?
Is it? And I said, yes, 25, 18, 18. He went,
I hadn't noticed that.
So don't pull that one, mate.
This one is 25, actually, because it's an end credit.
Okay. There's a little bit more breathing time, but they do ask you to pack a bunch of stuff in, don't they?
Yeah. And we have to sometimes get 3 points across. So you've got to kind of go, right, 8 seconds for this, 8 seconds for that, and then maybe 6 seconds just to say what's coming up next.
Is this continuity voice, or is this character horror style voice, or a little bit of both morphing one from the other?
Funnily enough, I think you pretty much nailed it right at the end. So on Horror/Legend, I get a little bit more scope to play around, which is one of the wonderful things, actually. It's one of the things that it's probably my brand, actually, if you want to say, is that I always, generally, on the channels I work for, get a little bit more scope to play a little bit and say some funny things, throw in a gag here and there, and that's basically my shtick.
It's interesting, of course, that continuity is written by you for you.
Yes.
So it will be, from your point of view, John, they are, even if you're packing a lot of information in, they are reasonably comfortable scripts for you in that you know what's coming and you've written them in your idea, yeah?
Yeah, definitely. This is in my voice. This is in my fun playing about voice. Yeah. And I generally speak quite quickly as well in my links. So I always kind
of...
You do? Yeah. I take a deep breath beforehand and I power through it. And I think that's part of what I do, and that's part of what makes it fun. Hopefully people actually still hear the information, but there we go.
Yeah.
There's a big difference, Sam, though, and I'm sure John will agree with this. We used to do it live. We used to do live continuity a lot, and I suspect that Legend is all recorded, isn't it?
Yes, it is. I record it actually in my home little booth, which I'm currently sat in now.
That's worse in many ways, though. At least if you're doing it live, you're kind of, there's the adrenaline of getting through it and seeing the countdown, knowing where you're going.
Your transmission person said 3, 2, 1, go.
I agree with what you were just saying. I miss the personal element that you really do miss when you kind of are coming off the end of a TV show and, something's happened. when you're recording, you kind of, unless you know the film, you can't come off the back of a film on that tone. Yeah, and I think that you miss that. So there have been some famous occurrences of colleagues that have kind of come on the back of a film and they've totally got the tone wrong, and it's been like imagine death and squalor, and it's actually at the end of a real kind of family film uplifting ending. And it's just like, oh yeah. I do miss the lives, but I don't miss messing up when I'm doing live.
Right, let me give this one a go. I'm trying to get into slight horror mode. Okay. Ladies, gentlemen, and everyone in between, welcome to a weekend of delightful delectations. A weekend designed to thrill, titillate, and make your hair stand on end. Oh no, this is no ordinary weekend. This is the classic horror weekend, and it starts with a classic movie, the first sound production of Bram Stoker's novel and the adaptation which inspired so many others. Bela Lugosi is Dracula. Next on Horror. Boo.
Nice. That was actually softer than I thought you were going to do it.
It was softer than I thought I was going to do it as well. That's Monday morning for you.
What did you think, John?
I thought it was brilliant. You know, a man who's been doing continuity for, 20 plus years. And I noticed you put which inspired so many others. And actually, I quite like that. Maybe I should have written that in the first place.
Yeah.
Because you had written it for you, I probably would have thrown a so in there.
Yeah, and you've got license to do that because it is you're trying to make it your own.
You can absolutely tell that you do lots of continuity.
I wondered if I was going to go differently on Boo. I kind of took it quietly. I wondered if it was going to go big and kind of Vincent Price-esque.
Yeah.
So Sam, are you going to channel Vincent Price for this?
Well, I'm going to do it all wrong. So but I am going to have fun. You said have fun, so I'm going to have fun with it. But this won't be right.
Ladies, gentlemen, and everyone in between, welcome to a weekend of delightful delectations. A weekend designed to thrill, titillate, and make your hair stand on end. Oh no, this is no ordinary weekend. This is the classic horror weekend. And it starts with a classic movie. The first sound production of Bram Stoker's novel and the adaptation which inspired so many others. Bela Lugosi is Dracula. Next on Horror. Boo.
I love that. I thought it really worked.
Really?
I think probably that would be a promo. That would probably be a promo voice
you're right.
in general.
Yeah.
But hey, anything goes sometimes, and if they're in the good mood, then they'll let that go on.
Oh, in the days of live, they wouldn't have had any choice, would they? We would have just done it.
I would do the entire evening like that. It would be great.
Till you get the call on the red phone going, Sam, no more of that, thanks.
Yes, exactly.
What annoys me the most is that you've ruined my wild card for that one now.
Interesting.
Okay. Interesting. So that was. I like the fact that was worthy of a wild card. That's not so good.
John, I think we ought to hear how you actually did it for horror then in that case.
Okay, then. Ladies, gentlemen, and everyone in between, welcome to a weekend of delightful delectations, a weekend designed to thrill, titillate, and make your hair stand on end. Oh no, this is no ordinary weekend. This is the classic horror weekend, and it starts with a classic movie, the first sound production of Bram Stoker's novel, and the adaptation which inspired many others. Bela Lugosi is Dracula. Next on Horror. Boo.
That was much straighter than I thought you were going to do it.
Yeah, I know. But it was having fun. It was just kind of like bouncing with it. So that's what I really enjoyed.
It's a bouncy script, isn't it?
And fast. That was fast.
Maybe I did do it a bit slower at the time, but I kind of just went with it and I was enjoying it. So, yeah.
All of the information came out, Sam. It was very clear.
Absolutely.
It was obvious what was going on. And that's because it's written nicely.
Yes.
Oh, thank you.
Nicely. It's a nicely written.
Well, no, I don't. Yes, that sounded odd, but...
No, it's no. It is beautifully written. It has a real build in it, actually.
Yeah.
And it has that lovely little bit of information at the end, which is really, the first sound production of Bram Stoker's novel. Bram Stoker. It's a completely different man and a different novel entirely, I'm
I think
afraid.
you'll find it is.
But what I like is it would make me want to stay, and that's the point of it.
Of course it is. Yeah.
That's the whole point of doing the credit squeeze is to get people to stay on with you.
Yeah, and the whole thing about putting the boo in at the end, it was never meant to be like a boo. It was just always like, we're having fun here, so I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
Boo.
Yeah.
I want to be that slightly embarrassing dad sometimes, or I want to be,
yes.
I want to be the best mate. I want to be cracking the joke for people to go, oh, really?
Yes.
But also they kind of, hopefully you want them to kind of go, oh, I like this guy. He has a bit of fun, as opposed to just turning around and going, oh, did he really try and do that? Oh, that's, yeah.
How do you say that?
So now it is time for the wild card. So, John, can you pick one of the scripts for Mark or for me and give us a new idea, a new direction?
Oh, where's he going to go with this, Sam?
Well, I don't know, seeing as you've spoiled my original kind of idea.
I'm so sorry. Get me to do it straight. No. A straight mark card, please, Samantha.
I would like you to do it in the style of a vaudevillian kind of step right up kind of guy. I'd like you to do script 2, the ladies and gentlemen, everyone in between, because I think that kind of lends it a little bit to that, and it might be fun. Again, it's all about the fun.
Okay. All right.
Sorry, Sam.
No, that's okay.
A touch of Greatest Showman, you think?
Yeah, a little bit like that. The kind of old kind of showmanship and like, come into my big talk.
Okay. Ladies, gentlemen, and everyone in between, welcome to a weekend of delightful delectations. A weekend designed to thrill, to titillate, and make your hair stand on end. Oh no, this is no ordinary weekend. This is the classic horror weekend, and it starts with a classic movie. The first sound production of Bram Stoker's novel and the adaptation which inspired many others. Bela Lugosi is Dracula. Next on horror. Boo.
I could see you dressed up as like the ringmaster almost. The ring mistress.
I could see me dressed up. I was there, mate.
Cracking that whip.
That's kind of when I wrote it, I kind of had that in my mind, actually, when I was doing it. So I thought you nailed it, actually. I thought it was really great.
Very good. Nice.
It was sort of different. And then I noticed I did a tick in it that I'd done before, which was interesting. And I thought I won't do that if I had done it a third time. I pushed two things together and I did it both times, interestingly. So obviously that's a tick that I need to look at.
A little tick.
But anyway, a little tick.
Right, I've got one for you, John, now, if that's okay. I would like you to be the character of an old, wise mole. So imagine a cartoon mole.
Ooh.
And I want you to do the swimming commentary. I'm kind of picturing this mole with glasses on, maybe kind of Wind in the Willows type character.
That's so sweet.
In whichever way you think,
Mole is my favourite character in Wind in the Willows.
Okay. We can do this. All those years of acting, surely we can use this.
Don't call me Shirley.
Do a mole.
Okay. Let's see if Elizabeth Smith can turn it on here in this final. If the gold medal that is up for grabs, the women's 100-metre fly S9. Smith is being closed down now. Spain, watch Gascon. She's got an incredible finish. Is she finally going to take this gold she desires? Oh, but Jude looks to be going in for lane 4. Jude against Gascon. Smith trying to hang on. Konkoly making a mad dash. Ooh, we'll claim it at the wall.
I love that. I love that.
It's so cute. It's like the Wind in the Willows goes swimming gala.
If you'd had the video,
so
if my camera had been on, you would have seen me all moling it up.
Moling it up.
I could tell. But it's almost as if like the Wind in the Willows characters were sitting around watching it. and Mole was doing the live contract. I really love that. That was lovely.
Oh, thank you.
So cute.
It's amazing what we ask people to pull out of their brains.
I'll put it on my CV now. Mole Man.
Mole Man.
Mole
John Last is Mole Man.
Dun, dun, dun. Sweet. Okay, I have one for you then.
Oh, I bet you do.
Mark. No, it's a nice one, actually.
Okay.
It's a really nice one. It's inspired by the fact that it is where we are in the season.
Oh, yes.
So I wanted to go kind of horror-y, but not horror-y, if you see what I mean. And so I thought one of my favourite animations, Monsters, Inc. But have you seen Monsters University?
Yes.
Okay. So this is Monsters University. This is your first day. You are a monster student.
Yep.
And this is your first day. So you can either be nervous or, bombastic or whatever you choose to do. Yep. But it is day one. You've just walked in through the Monsters, Inc. Gates. And you're walking up that Monsters, Inc.
Yes,
pathway.
I know what you mean.
And you're doing, where I'm doing. I'm setting the scene. And I think actually script too.
And can you tell me what my monster looks like?
No, I can't tell you what your monster looks like. You can have to imagine a monster. You might have one eye, 5 eyes, 85 eyes.
All right, I'm shaking it out now.
Yeah,
I'm shaking my arms.
You might be slow moving, fast moving, whatever you want to be, babes.
All right. Ladies, gentlemen, and everyone in between, welcome to a weekend of delightful delectations. A weekend designed to thrill, titillate, and make your hair stand on end. Oh no, this is no ordinary weekend. This is the classic horror weekend. It starts with the classic movie, the first sound production of Bram Stoker's novel, and the adaptation which inspired many others. Bela Lugosi is Dracula next on horror.
Oh, Mark, that was fantastic.
I really thought that was brilliant.
I loved that. Do you know what is incredible? And I've heard it in your voice before. It's almost as if you can get two things going on at once. I know that sounds bizarre, doesn't it? But the little kind of rumbly bit underneath, the little kind of, I don't know what it was, a sort of wet rumble for want of a better thing, seemed to continue under the words you were saying. It was quite extraordinary.
It made me think that if Boris Johnson was a frog with gastric issues.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
I was certainly going for the sliminess of a frog, but a much bigger, like a really imposing style monster.
You didn't seem to have any legs.
No, kind of squelching along.
Squelchy,
yeah. Good, I'm glad that came across.
Oh my God, that was. You might have had tiny arms. I don't know about that, but you definitely didn't have legs. And actually, you were quite shy in the end.
Yes, I think so. You said walking up the path, and I think I was getting shyer and shyer as I walked actually to the door.
I loved it.
I'm glad you loved it. Oh, the things we do on a Monday morning, eh? Whenever you're listening to this, but we're doing it on a Monday morning.
Yes, exactly.
Well, as always, we've put these scripts in the show notes so you can have a try yourself.
Yes. Now, our question this week for John is, you work in a very wide range of voiceover areas. Mm-hmm. So what is your favourite area and why?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm going to give you a multifaceted answer to that one. I definitely do have some fondness for the continuity because it has been my regular gig.
Of course.
And it is something that I know inside out. And I do enjoy it for that. But I love doing promos and commercials because you go in there and generally you do it quite quickly. You're not as involved. You can have your say, you can do what you want, but ultimately it's up to the other guy to give you what they want, and it's up to you to get it in a short amount of time. And I like that challenge. I do like that challenge because it's it's quite easy in continuity, for example, to rest on your laurels, and that's really dangerous. So you've got to keep pushing yourself not to, and write something different to push you to say something differently. But I do like actual speaking with people and going either into a studio or being at my home studio and talking to actual people in front of me and them giving direction, and I really do enjoy that.
Yeah, because I guess you don't get that in continuity at all. In the recorded world, you write it, you record it, and there isn't anyone else on the line with you.
Yeah, and then you might get feedback on your general kind of oeuvre of work for the past 2 months when you speak to the boss, but there's no immediacy to that. So I do enjoy having, all right, John, that was great. Let's do this with a hint of that and X, Y, Z.
Yeah, I think we all like that, absolutely.
Do you find it daunting or awkward in any way to suddenly try a completely new genre?
Oh, definitely daunting. Yeah, definitely trying because it is something out of your comfort zone. And for example, I'm going into my studio, and my studio is where I do one certain style all the time. So you've got to shake that off when you go in there.
Yes,
you've got to
absolutely.
Shake off that.
Yeah.
Which is why when we did the Mole Man before, I was physically shaking myself and just trying to shake off that whole kind of essence that I'd had before.
Essence of continuity.
Yes.
Yes. I know what you mean.
You're right. It makes a massive difference. And I'm just thinking that you feel a lot freer in an outside studio to do something new.
Yes, I've always felt that
because
too.
it's a completely different place, and so. Yeah, very interesting. Oh, thank you. Thank you
totally
for indulging me there.
Fascinating, John. Thank you for that. But short form wins it for now. John, thank you so much. John Last's details can be found in the show notes. I hope you've enjoyed it.
It's been brilliant. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you.
Oh, it's been lovely having you. And of course, the scripts are there too in the show notes. And do like and subscribe and leave a review on Apple Podcasts.
Indeed. Well, that's it for this week. Thanks again to John Last. We'll be back next week with more scripts and another voiceover guest where we'll be asking, this is where we do it all together, John. We'll be asking, How do you say
that?
that?
How do you say that?